Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Coaching from the Couch. This is your Washington Commanders update. And I am your host, CWall Waller with Bowie TV, joined with Wole from all things. From all the things that you just
All the things. Urban sports and all the things. All the things.
posting it.
All look, she ain't lying. All the things. Every single
Oh
thing.
my gosh. So yeah.
Everything. She's not playing.
You let me go ahead and get really into housekeeping items. Okay, this is a live Bowie television recording. Everything we say and do here absolutely shows up on Bowie television. If you have not cut your cable, you can find us on Comcast channels 190 and 1097. I hope you all are subscribed to our YouTube channel as well. You can follow me on @CWall SC, follow Bowie TV Sports, Bowie TV all over the place. Wole, you can follow him. You're probably here through Wole.
No, you're for everybody. No, not just
everybody.
me. Not just me. Everybody.
And so we started doing this a couple weeks ago. Because it was just good conversation. And so with the urban sports scene, and then I joined the All Burgundy and Gold Everything show as pregame on game days as well. So if you all are watching on Facebook, make sure you hit that love button and share this show with your Washington Commanders loving family and friends. Maybe you don't love them right now, but maybe you don't like them right now, but you still love them. I don't know. Yeah, and if you're watching through YouTube, make sure you hit those likes. Make sure you still sharing the link around. We do accept super chat, super thanks, all that good stuff. Similar to last week, like I said, this is live. And I just switched it up on Wole because I was like, I'm not doing clips because we got a lot to talk about. But then of course I got into the clips and was like, all right, kind of do need to do clips.
Yeah.
For some of the conversation that we need to have. Yes, there was some breaking news. Literally, that's why we were late.
Yeah, facts.
Breaking news on Frankie Louvu getting suspended one game, as if the Commanders needed to lose anybody else. Frankie Louvu getting suspended one game for committing his third hip drop tackle on the season. Last week he was fined $46,000 for a hip drop tackle against the Chiefs. It happened again on yesterday. He has been suspended one game. So we'll get to that in a moment because I'm like, how? Okay, this is TV. This is what happens when you have a plan and you have to pivot. But I think with that happening, it aligns with some other things that, yes, we got to talk about and is a huge concern with the team. This is a lot, you guys. So, all right. Wole is, so I think we're going to do a couple things. If you have questions, Wole, we're still going to star them.
Yeah.
Try to get to as many questions as we can and go through clips. And then we're going to do what you did last week, right, Wole?
Yeah, well, yeah. Also, if you got a question for Candy about what she saw, at the game and maybe after the game and maybe getting, the temperature of the players after that hard game to watch for fans. And I'm sure a hard game to watch for reporters. If you have any questions, we'll put the link in the chat and you'll have like a minute to ask Candy that question. So, we'll put that link in the chat and you all could be on camera and asking Candy the questions.
Yeah, I am looking at my messages. And I'm sorry. This is what happens when it's live. Okay, because the league did send out. Now I'm gonna just read that to y'all.
Yeah,
You're really gonna have to hit the love button and share this and like and all that. Because I'm actually reading straight up the NFL statement, and you should my dismay of the subject title: Frankie Louvu suspended one game. Wait, that's our Frankie. Wait, who? I know that guy. What are you talking about? It says Washington Commanders linebacker Frankie Louvu has been suspended without pay for one game for repeated violations of playing rules intended to protect the health and safety of players, including during Sunday's game against the Seattle Seahawks. During the first quarter of the Seattle-Washington game, Louvu violated Rule 12, Section 2. Y'all gonna make me put my glasses on. which states that it is a foul if a player uses the following technique to bring a runner to the ground. A, grabs the runner with one or both hands, or wraps the runner with both arms, and B, unweights himself by swiveling and dropping his hips and or lower body, landing on and or trapping the runner's legs at or below the knee. This is Luvu's third hip drop tackle of the season. He was previously fined for actions in week 4 and week 8. Luvu will be eligible to return to the Commanders' active roster on Monday, November 10th, following the team's November 9th game against the Detroit Lions. Under the collective bargaining agreement, Luvu may appeal the suspension. Any appeal will be heard and decided upon by either Derek Brooks, Raymond Foster, or Jordy Nelson. The hearing officers jointly appointed and compensated by the NFL and NFLPA to decide appeals of on-field player discipline. You all got that straight up from my email from NFL Communications. Okay.
The pause, because of course, is can you trade a suspended player? I doubt that's going to happen. I get the frustration, though. I get the frustration.
Yeah, I understand the frustration. But I mean, if anything, that should just be more frustration of like this season is just not going well. And this it's almost like an indicator, right? Like the stars are just not aligned. There are no stars. There's no stars. It's black. It's dark. It's clouds. Because really, and what's interesting is they haven't been flagged.
That's the interesting part, right? You've been flagged for these players. So
what is? I got a lot of questions because it becomes a. Is there something going on where they're just not understanding what the penalty is or something? Because why aren't they getting flagged?
Yeah. Or
why isn't this being taught? I mean, it's hard. It's hard to stop. This is the way they've been playing football their whole entire lives. It's just like, well, what are you doing? Like if you're literally making this and you've done it 3 times already this season, why hasn't it been corrected if it's being acknowledged? And thank you, Shelly, for reposting the stream.
I appreciate it, Shelly. Shelly, you awesome. Shelly, you awesome.
You're so super awesome, Shelly. Thank you so much. I'm in shock. I have just been in shock. Can I get out of shock? Can I get out of shock?
I don't think that's gonna happen anytime soon.
I don't think it's gonna happen. And it's almost like I gotta keep going because it's like it's my job. I have to. But it's also like, oh, is this really happening? Is this really happening, you guys? Because you know what? Wow. Okay. All right. Y'all are seeing a live reaction.
Yeah.
So, that's okay. That's crazy. All right. Okay. So I would say choose your own adventure, but we have to have an agenda.
Yeah, I got you.
And you gotta have an agenda. And so let's start. Okay, we started with Frankie's suspension. And so we have started. The show has already started, everybody.
We're here. We're here.
I'm like, wait. Okay. Jayden's injury.
Yeah.
Let's start there. Let's start with the injury news. Marshawn Lattimore out for the season with a torn ACL. Luke McCaffrey, a fractured collarbone, still uncertain of his timetable. Jayden Daniels, a dislocated left elbow, still uncertain of his timetable. And there were several other players that went out for various reasons. In yesterday's game, Quan Martin, I have the list somewhere. Well, you know I do. Yeah, Quan Martin, I think it was a hamstring. Game day Trey Amos, a hip. Eddie Goldman was evaluated for a concussion. So just a lot, folks. Let's start with a question that we know one of the GOATs of sports journalism, David Aldridge, asked Coach Quinn in the after-game presser. So let's start there, you all.
Dan, I'm asking this really respectfully. I want you to understand that. But Jayden's been hurt 3 straight times in 3 straight games. Does this organization have to take a different approach with him with regard to keeping him on the field, even if a game's lost, or you think there's a chance, even if you think there's still a chance to win, if it's not capable of giving him the support he needs on the offense and the defensive side for him to be at his best?
Yeah, I think the answer to that is we will give him the support to do that. And I'm certain of that, Dave, to make sure that we do that in every single way. And that's calls, offense, defense, like the whole way through, man. I absolutely feel that way on, the hamstring injury. And so tonight with an elbow, it's really important we get that part right, and we will.
And so today, when Coach Quinn had his day after game press conference with the media, he opened up his statement, and I also on my page, I hope you all saw it on my X at CWall SC, as well as on my Facebook, Candi Waller. Darrell Owens, if you all know Darrell, he is the videographer, photographer with Bowie TV, with me covering the Washington Commanders. I did post a picture that Darrell captured with head coach Dan Quinn holding Jayden's hand when the trainers were tending to him, as well as 3 of his closest teammates, Bobby Wagner, Mike Sanderstill, and Jeremy Reeves, right there with him. So check that picture out. I'm going to play the opening with DQ's press conference, and we will check back in on the whole injury.
I know many of you have been asking about the thought process of Jayden being in the game in that situation. I get that. I've been thinking about it, honestly, nonstop too. And, for me, the answer is, man, I missed it. But I would, I'll fill you in on my thought process. At the start of the fourth quarter, I guess it was probably like 12 and a half minutes left in the game. And that was going to be the last drive for a couple of guys, Jayden and Zach and Debo and LT. And so we weren't going to have any read run plays, and meaning no carries, for the quarterback on a run. And honestly, man, that's where I missed it. Of course, he could scramble. It's Jayden. It's what he's special at, and that is 100% that's on me. And I also said last night in the presser to our fans that, man, did we miss our mark as a team. And with that performance, we need to fix it. They created an awesome environment, at the stadium for the game, and that fix needs to be done now. So just wanted to open up with that and get started. I'll also give you some other injury news. We'll confirm Jayden dislocated his left elbow. No timetable on that right now. Still gathering the information. Marshawn had an MRI today and confirmed an ACL injury for him. So that will knock him out for the season. And Luke fractured his collarbone. Still working through the timetable for that, but that'll definitely knock him out for a while. So tough night on the injury front. All 3 of these guys are absolutely elite competitors, and they mean a ton to our team for their play style and what they represent. So all that said, we can get rocking with you guys, but I felt it was important to fill you in on the beginning with Jayden and thought processes and missing it. And that's me.
He seems so like emotionally depressed for that. Like, and I do want to give him his flowers though with that. I know some people have given him some negative flack about having Jayden out there, but I do want to give him his flowers of being a stand-up dude and being accountable. And I thought it was genuine. You know what I mean? Like, it was very genuine to me.
Yes. Yes, totally agree. And I mentioned the picture because like that's Dan Quinn, right? Holding his player's hand. This was tough for everybody. I did get a glimpse at the TV version of seeing Coach Quinn walk over there, and it looked like the man was about to burst into tears. And so I mentioned the picture because I thought it was an important point just to kind of shape who he is, like this, and or help to shape a part of who he is for everyone to know. Because I know he was getting dragged. I mean, listen, in the press box, I will share this. maybe like when the defense was on the field, I saw Jayden off to the side on the sideline, standing there by himself. He had his towel over his head. And I was like, it's only been a year and a half, but I've not seen Jayden do that yet. He's just away, right? And I'm sure just disappointed, trying to figure out what to do, what can he do, just, all the things that leaders do. And sometimes they need a moment to just think. And Deebo Samuel walked over there with him. And Donna Hopkins, so if y'all know Donna Hopkins, she said, well, Jayden's probably done for the night. And I will tell you all, I said, this is Jayden. He's not done. He's going back. He's going back out there. And she was like, but why? And then others started to say, similar things like and true. Why? Right? Why? Why? But I didn't think anything else of it. Yeah. Other than they were getting blown out and why, but it's just like, that's just, and so, yeah, it's like the possible worst case scenario ever. Right. And so I'm sure that, the picture is on my X at CWall SE. Or if you follow me on Facebook, it's on Candi Waller. You can see it there. And so it was just a different, I wanted to post it because Darrell captured that moment. And I was just like, you know what? Yeah. And so that's DQ. And he genuinely feels horrible. Everybody does. Everybody does. And so I really don't know what else to say.
I do got a question for you though about the locker room though, like after the game, knowing that what everybody saw, like what was like that what was that like being in that environment, and obviously having their leader down and looking like looks like to me he's going to be out for the year, but that's my opinion. That's just me though.
I will share this publicly. I'm sure he's fine with me saying it. One of our media colleagues, you all know well, Felix Trammell or Tram. I always say everybody.
Trammell. It's Trammell. You're right.
He said it felt like the day when Alex Smith got hurt. He said that's what it felt like in the locker room, and it was tough. Like I've had some tough days at work, and yesterday was one of them because they are heartbroken. They're just heartbroken, and they didn't do it. I mean, then they lost. I mean, they look bad on top of all of that. And so it's very emotional.
Kevin has a question. He has a comment or question actually. Why are fans so quick to compare this to RG3? I mean, go ahead, go for it.
I don't know. I don't know. And I don't know because Alex Smith, like there's not a comparison to Alex Smith,
Yeah. The only comparison I would say, it's just that it's kind of like it's weird because RG3 got hurt against Seattle in a playoff game, like the last injury that kind of knocked him out. Truth be told, to knock him out of Washington was in a Seattle game, and then Jayden in a game that pretty much was like, they were trying to the game was behind, like they weren't going to come back and win that game either. But that was a playoff game, which was totally different. And then you got this game where the game was out of hand. And Jayden just gets hurt on a play. He tries to make a play. So
Jayden, exactly what Coach said. Jayden was trying to make a play.
Yeah.
Was that the actual play call? No, no, it wasn't. And
it was at the same yard line.
It was, but he was trying to make a call. He was trying to make a play.
I got you. Oh, I gotta stop.
Yes.
Hey, Mama Waller, how you doing?
Hey, Mom. So everybody on the stream, you have to say hello to Mama Waller.
Yeah, you have to. You got to. And you respond if you on the stream. You gotta say hi. Hey, Mama Waller. Like that too. You gotta say it like that.
And so so say hello to Mama Waller. She I don't know why there's such a comparison. They're completely two different people, completely two different personalities from all the way around. different skill sets, all the things. And hey, I'm a kind of person that, you see how I am with my mama, and I have everybody,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Jayden said what he said, Jayden's mother, said what she said about the comparisons of her son to RG3. I felt that. I mean, I felt it because that's a mama speaking up, like, and then for him to get hurt again, I'm like, complete everything, just please stop. So it's, you just gotta, it's I don't know why, and it should stop.
You're right, Eric. My bad. We were up too. You're right, Eric. My fault. We were up. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. And so, yeah, locker room heartbroken. It was, all you could do is kind of just talk to them in real life, see, but they're, one thing I appreciate about Marcus Mariota and many others as well. But in his scrum, he was, in his media scrum, he was asked about starting, and he's like, listen, right now, my focus and our focus is on Jay. We need to focus on Jay. We will deal with this as a team. But that's our focus. Like, basically, we're not thinking about who's starting next week. They got a brother that needs them, and that's where they need focus. So that's that.
Yeah, it's a terrible situation. I mean, I personally, the way the season's going, I said this on another show, but if it continues to trend this way, I don't want to hear nothing about getting this man back on the football field. There's 3. It's wild. This year he's been hit with injuries. He's been hit consistently, like the knee, then the hamstring, and now this. If the season tends to go a certain way, just like chalk it up the next, and just work on having him healthy for next year, totally healthy next year. I don't need, if you do bring him back, it's because they're about to get into a race or something. Other than that, if they're not in the race, there's no need to have Jayden Daniels back out there for the and he has to be 100% healthy. He can't be anything. It's got to be those 2 things have to be together. They're in the race and he's 100% healthy. If neither of those things are happening, he should be sitting out this year. Period.
And you think about the injuries overall. We're going to get to that in a moment because it's an important point.
Shelly's like, did they all happen from a hip drop tackle? The last injury was.
That's the thing, right? It's like Jayden's injuries. I'm like, well, nobody's hip drop tackling him. Like, what's going on? The only hip drop tackles that's happening in the league right now, because I think this is the first one that's been led into a suspension. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Literally found this out as you all were finding it out right when we were getting ready to start the stream, and I'm like, so. There's a lot of questions there. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm not saying that's not what he did. I'm not saying that at all.
You're talking about Frankie, yeah.
But in terms of like, did it happen to Jayden? Right?
Definitely.
And it's like, this is, are these things that are happening in other places? We know that, okay, Frankie did it, but they weren't penalized. They weren't flagged in the game. So then that's another question for me. It should have been flagged.
Yeah.
Why weren't they flagged? So it's just not saying that the flag has to lead to the fine or whatever, but they should have been called in all of that. And then my bigger, probably most rooted question was, and if this was a thing for him, why didn't this get addressed via coaching?
Yeah.
I know this is how the guys play. They've been playing this way their whole entire life. So I understood that it's a change in how they move naturally. But if it is a thing, it should have been addressed for sure. Because as much as they have going on from an injury perspective, then you're losing another player, you're down another player because of a suspension. And it's been happening. So I'm not trying to play everybody else does it, but the thing of it is, if you something, I have a lot of questions.
Yeah, you asked him. You said when do you want to read all some of these questions? You want to keep going with the clips first?
Let's go with the clips because
Mike, I'll get your question later. I'll get to your question later, Mike.
I want to talk about a question that Coach Quinn was asked last week by Natalie Spatula from ABC7 about the team's identity. And then I want to get into a question that I asked
Yeah.
Jay. So we're going to go in that order.
Gotcha.
Coach, you touched on identity last week and mentioned specifically how you don't think the team has turned the corner on that quite yet. Are you seeing aspects of that identity progressing despite these recent losses? And is there an element of surprise or shock that we're now in the halfway point of the season and that's not completely established?
Yeah, it has to be the whole time, you know. And so I thought, man, like the energy and the toughness to come out on the early parts, I loved it, and it felt, you could feel it. You know, like I know what it looks like. There's not a number that I put on it, but I know what it looks like and feels like. But it does have to be the entire time. And there was parts of the first half I liked. There was a 2-minute on offense, went down, got points. Defense got a stop to go in at the half. We missed some chances, but I liked what that looked like. But the race isn't, it has to be the whole time. And so that's what we're chasing after. Good news, I saw it right away. And but it can't be one here, one there. And so that's leaning into one another in all three phases. And we'll continue to work really hard to do that. But that's the goal. That's the mindset, and that's what we got to get done. And I like the fact that we'll be disciplined enough to go do that. Like, there is no more time to not do that.
There is no more time to not do that. And then this week happened.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if so, it's like, do you feel like it was just a flash in the pan? Like,
no, I know he means it. He means it. I mean, there were players that said it before he did.
Mm-hmm.
So this is interesting. This is interesting for many different reasons, because let's be clear also, this isn't something where it's just like one thing. It's not just one or two things. It's a lot of different things happening regularly. And if you all are just tuning in, this is a live Bowie television recording here, collaborating and partnering with the urban sports scene with Wole. Listen, Wole always has me on his show, and we started talking all this stuff. It's like, you know what, we can just do this after the recap. I'm already showing clips and everything anyway. Make sure you're following both Bowie television, the urban sports scene. Subscribe. We accept super chats, super things, all of those good things. Make sure you're following us on everywhere. Just everywhere. All social platforms.
Look, don't be stingy. Just hit free. Following is free. Like and subscribe and all that good jazz is free. So just do it.
And you can share this show with your Washington Commanders loving family and friends. I don't know how much you love them right now. I don't even know how much you like them. But if you have interest in them, you want to be a part of this live discussion. So along with the identity question last week, because I've had this question now for a bit, I asked Coach Quinn about this today. Hey, Coach, I kind of have a two-part question. I'm going to try to put it in one.
Okay.
Last season, we consistently heard anybody, anywhere, anytime. We consistently heard the ball is life, all of the mottos, all of the things that really then would show up on game day. And then you kind of move forward to this season. I distinctly remember that preseason game against New England, and you were pissed. And we've seen you pissed a lot. So what do you think is just, I guess if it was one thing, you would nail that, as you've shared with us before. But are those sayings and those mottos, while it may feel small, are they still being shared and kind of just a part of you all's identity all throughout the building, all throughout meetings and all of that?
Yeah, and I get what you're saying for sure. That and it's really the competition, Candi. That's up at the very front of it, and like why we love that so much, and why do we build our lives around it? Because we love that fight and that struggle and what it is. And so when it doesn't line up like you like it, man, you're pissed and you want to work your ass off to try to get it to that spot. So yes, we still talk into those same spaces. The inconsistency that we've performed with would lead you to believe that we haven't. But that is really more philosophical, to make sure these are some really important tenets of our program, the competition part, on the ball. And so those are things that, yeah, we absolutely hit in weekly, daily, all of it. But the competition piece, that's always front and center, and why it's so damn important to us to have that. And like I said, build our lives around this competition, and why we need it, and the fight and the struggle, and why we love that so much. So when we miss it, we acknowledge it, and it sucks, and that's where you are, and you fight your ass off to get out of it.
So I asked these questions, and thank you to everyone who acknowledged my question. I appreciate that, seriously. It took me a minute to get the question out, but like I said, I had like two parts of the question in one.
Yeah. I'll keep going.
You know, right? You saw how I moved on that one. Like, both of them, but I can only ask one right now because we were out of time. And you know, the saying now, here's the thing: doing hard-ish with good people, they doing that. I see that they're doing hard-ish with good people, but those other slogans, I don't see that. And I'm happy that Coach Quinn acknowledged that their inconsistency in play will lead you to believe that they're not talking about those things. But last year, it was abundantly clear that the ball is life. You saw the mantras come alive. Anybody, anywhere, anytime, all that. You saw it last year. You felt it. You saw it. Everyone was bought into it. They did it. As literal as it may sound and be, you saw it. You saw it. And I appreciated him even acknowledging, I know it doesn't look like we talk like this, but we do. I'm like, yeah, but it's still something from an energy perspective. It's off. Right? And so I'm going to keep pulling on that thread a bit more. Because it's something to be said about being bought in. I just don't see that. I don't feel, and nobody sees it on game day, because that's all I care about is what does it look like on game day? See whatever you want. What does it look like on game day? And I'm not seeing that. Then my point about preseason, anybody who's been following me for a while and has been engaged with me, one of the things, and if you're new, hello and welcome. I'm happy to meet you virtually. If it happened in preseason, you shouldn't see it in October. And you absolutely should not see it in November. No way. No how. Dan Quinn was so mad in New England. And I remember a lot of conversation was, well, the starter's not playing. And I said it back then, and a lot of people didn't agree with me. Oh, you're taking it too seriously. Oh, this is in the third. No. Because that's part of your identity, how you just showed up on that football field. I don't care who it is. That is part of your identity, and that is how you showed up. And very true. Yeah. Most of the starters, if not all, were not playing that night. But identity and swag and certain things, it is what it is. It wasn't there. He was mad that night. Mad. Coach Quinn been mad all season now. Now he's been mad all season for the exact same thing he was mad about that night.
Sure. In preseason. Yeah.
I understand organizational culture. I understand that very, very well. So what isn't resonating anymore? What isn't translating anymore? Because it wasn't an issue last year. It was not, you all. It was not. So we'll have to see. Because what are the things that could have happened in that short period of time where everybody in the coaching staff, they all stayed together for one purpose, to finish what they started last year. That's what they all came back. I want to keep, many people had opportunities to do other things and go elsewhere. It was, let's do this. Let's run this back. And it's just something, I don't know. And again, I appreciate Coach acknowledging. I know it doesn't look like we say it. No, it doesn't. It doesn't look like you're saying it at all. And that's just everything from what you see visibly to what's on the stat sheet. There's nothing looks like that's happening at all. But if it happened in the preseason and it's happening in November, something's wrong. So more to come there. We keep pulling on this thread because I believe, and I truly believe this as a reporter, as a journalist, as a storyteller, as a person tracking and doing investigative reporting, that is something. There's something there. I don't know what it is. I'll get to the bottom of it at some point, hopefully. But there is something there for sure.
James Roundtree has had a question. He says, when so many players are playing poorly, it's ought to make you question more than the players. Do you think that's the case? Like,
I mean, you
when their players are playing bad, it's more. Do you think it's just more than players? Is it? I guess he's trying to say, is it coaching as well?
I mean, this is something that we've been talking about, right?
Yeah.
What came first, the chicken or the egg? But the challenge is it coaching, is it scheme, or is it the players to execute? Because these opponents are different.
Yeah.
This is a different brand of opponent. Everything is different. While it might be the same team, the coaches, some of the same players in some instances, your opponents are different and they're playing you different, rightfully so, based on what you did last season. The challenge then becomes, if everybody else is adjusting, well, then why didn't you? Yeah. Because one of the things that I've been saying is you could be the hunters all day, but that don't mean you don't know nobody coming to blow your house down. You know they still coming. You know they still coming. You can still be the hunter and know you're getting hunted. The level of proactivity of just adjusting, knowing things are different, players are different, coaching staffs are different. I'm just not. You can't do the same old, right? And what is also different. Okay, we're going back to Frankie Louvu. Maybe we could probably add on a few list of players here. In this, you're not seeing the person you saw last year. You're not seeing the player.
Yes,
that's the man, but you're not seeing the player that you saw last year. So where there still may have been challenges, if we're going to stay on the line of defense, maybe where there have been challenges defensively, okay, but those bright spots in the defense last year, you're not seeing those bright spots.
Do you have? Yeah, I'm gonna ask. Do you have a clip about the other thing we found out in the presser with a change? Because there's a question about somebody, so I want to make sure that lines up.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And
speaking of defense, since we're speaking about defense,
I'm looking at these questions. Ooh, these but I'll think of a classy way to address. I ran out of class, everybody. I ran out of class because this is had to require a lot of class here lately.
Yeah. Oh, it has a lot of class.
It is taking me down a little bit. I didn't ask any questions in last night's presser, and to be transparent here, because y'all know that's one of the things I like to do is show up authentically and be very transparent with you all. When I tell you I sat in the back of Coach Quinn's presser, where the Bowie TV camera is, you know where that little stage, I call it a stage, in the back, Wole.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Back there.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Press conference room, and I was like, where am I? Okay, I'm in the all right. I'm just gonna sit back here.
No, I get it. I know exactly where it's
at. One of my data collection methods, which is observation. I'm just gonna sit back here and look. I'm like this. So yeah, I asked Coach Quinn, and this might be to James Roundtree's point, a little bit. I asked Coach Quinn a question last week about communication. Okay. So hold this thought. This is wrapped up in use your clues as well. So the thing about preseason, think about identity, all the things that I'm touching on, you all, is all a part of like something I like to do to call use your clues. Okay. But I asked Coach Quinn a question just on Friday about the miscommunications on defense. At that moment, I was talking specifically about the secondary, though. Check this out, and then we're going to get into a couple more clips.
Okay.
Last week, I asked Coach Witt about communication or miscommunication, what had happened in the past, and he mentioned the loss of Will Harris. But since then, have you seen any things you still want to be working on in the secondary in terms of communication, or are they kind of hitting the mark there?
Yeah, it's a good question, but it's a loaded one for me because, like, I always think there's another place to go. And the reason I say that, there's pre, there's post, how do you go? And so we limited some calls just in our overall volume. And part of that was just so we could process faster. It wasn't that they weren't able to handle it or any of those things, but just a little bit less to go a little bit quicker and where we could just really go. And I saw that last week. That was the first time that we really trimmed that down. And so that's what I want to see better. I always want it really high, pre, post, the communication. And we're growing in that way, but taking some out I think also helped. Some calls require more communication than others. So I wanted us to have vision, play quickly, and if we can do that and we can tackle better and create some takeaways, that's a surefire way to, to start playing better.
So I appreciate him telling me that it was a loaded question. Because it was.
Mm-hmm.
Because I wasn't seeing where it was different or improved.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right? So, and one of the things I want to do is I'm going to ask a question because I don't know everything. And if I do, that's a problem. We got a bigger issue if I know everything.
Mm-hmm.
We got a much bigger issue if I know. So and that's not me throwing shade at myself. I'm just saying I'm not like the smartest person. You know what I mean?
It's called being humble. It's called being humble.
Humble, and you respect the positions. They are
exactly.
Respect them. And so I'm just trying to confirm. I'm trying to see something. I'm trying to figure it out. Okay. So keep in mind that question that I just asked. Okay.
Yeah.
Today, John Keim asked this question.
And then two, the defensive struggles have continued for a while. You've said you'll look at everything. Are you at the point now where you're considering any changes with your defensive staff at all?
No, I was, honestly, the three TDs that just burned me up on the second TD was like a 3rd and 8. We doubled Smith-Njigba. We got beaten man-to-man by a different player. The 3rd TD was the first play after a fumble on a kickoff return. I believe it was right around 25, 26-yard line. It was man-to-man on a seam route, so those weren't confusing calls. And the toughest of all was a cover 3, the 4th TD. The quarterback got caught up on a run fake, ball over top. We also missed a tackle on that play. So the executing, man, John, it's players, it's coaches, it's all of us, man. And we're capable of playing these calls and playing them better, and I'm certain of it. My belief in the players is high, and the staff is high. We got to get this job done, man. It's it was extremely frustrating, and we're gonna look at everything, man, to make sure, like, whatever we need to do to play our best. We're gonna find a way to do that.
Then next, JP Finlay asked Coach Quinn this question.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Dan, I know you said no changes coming on the defensive staff, but what about moving guys around, maybe bringing Joe Witt down to the field? Any of that under consideration?
Yeah, you might have some insider scoop going on there, JP. We are going to do that. And so Joe will move down from the press box onto the field this week. And we're going to dig in hard on changes we can make, to make an impact and make a difference. And that's one that we will do.
So let's go back
interesting.
to the use your clues in the question about the miscommunication, because this has been a recurring theme as well.
Yeah.
Right? Communication issues. Okay. And one of the things that Wole and I talked offline about previously, right, was like, well, Cliff is down there. Maybe Joe need to come down. I don't know. Maybe he does, but he's up in the booth, But all of that is aligned because that was Friday.
Mm-hmm. And
what did coach say? Well, that's a loaded question for me.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a change because here's the reality. There is something about what's being said on this head, what's getting that it's not. And here's the other thing too. At the end of this business, you gotta try all things.
Yeah, of course. You gotta try everything before you want to make
Is there a delay in when the call is coming in? Am I not hearing you correctly? Are we not? What's happening with the call?
Yeah.
Something is happening with the call of what to do and what folks are seeing, what's happening. You got to come downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Now, hey, still not working out?
Then that's a problem.
You got to go through.
Yeah, you gotta go through the process. You gotta go through the process. I agree with that. Yeah, you gotta go through the process.
And you got to try this because it has been, that's why I asked the question.
Mm-hmm.
And it has been. I ain't gotten cleaned up. No. I can sit there and look at that and tell.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so it becomes here's the hard truth, and I've been saying this all over the place. There was already challenges on defense last year. It goes unnoticed. And in some games they were good. But Jayden got you out of everything. I always make the joke, but I'm serious too.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus and Jayden got you out of a lot of jams last year. A lot of jams. And so Jayden isn't there this year, right? It's not at full 100%. So you got to figure something else out because your X factor isn't available. So now it's illuminating other issues.
Yeah.
Which is so much to be talked about there because there's a lot of issues. Oh, I'm trying to think. Let's go to injuries. I do want to go to injuries in the question that Coach Quinn was asked today. And then I'm going to go to another question I had from last week. So let's check out this clip about injuries.
The injuries that you have across both lines of scrimmage and now on teams, I mean, does that fundamentally limit you in some of the things that you can do now going forward?
It does, and you've heard me probably say that before. There's a lot of ways that you have to go try to win the game, and so you may have to maneuver that differently. That's accurate, based on how to feature the best way to go about winning, and it may not look the same exactly every week, but I do think there's a way. Hey, you got 6 days. This is where we're at, and this is our best way to go attack it and go win, and we'll need to do that for sure.
Now, two things I believe can be true. One, these injuries are starting to be too much to overcome. Like it's just, I don't even. And another thing that I said in preseason, and I know it wasn't necessarily received at the time, but I said, well, I sure hope no one gets hurt. Because I knew 1, 2, maybe 3 injuries could take them down.
I do have a question about that too.
Depending on who it was.
Yeah.
Because the schedule is not like it was last year.
Yeah.
At all. And again, you get played like how you played last year. People showing up for you. They showing up big on you. And they should. And so I do believe there's two things that can be true. The injuries are too much are starting to be too much to overcome when you and that then leads me to the next point that I believe is true is there were opportunities to change some things from a game planning perspective and a strategy perspective and a scheming perspective that weren't done. And now the injuries are still mounting.
Yeah.
And you're getting further and further away even from 500.
Yeah.
One of the things that is mounting, and I feel like it's something that is kind of flying low under the radar. My question last week to Coach Quinn also was around the offensive line. I was talking specifically about the right side of the line in this question, but it leads me to another thing that I think is really flying under the radar here. Check this out. Hey, Coach, going back to the offensive line, with Sam Cosmi back, what have you seen so far from Sam Cosmi and Josh Connolly and their kind of, working together out there on game day?
Yeah, and that's it's a great question by you because those were the ones I was hoping, could we get more time, more communication, more things together. It's combinations, it's, working side by side with somebody. So yes, they've done it in the meetings, yes, but I really felt when Sam got back on the practice field, that started to ramp up more and more. And so the last 2 games, to see him back in it, I thought he showed a lot of confidence in himself and, coming back from an injury. So I was pleased to see that. And I just think the two of those are going to be parked together there for a long time. And so the more they spend together in concert together, the better we'll be.
And that's fantastic. I think that's great. But the thing about it is, since the Dallas game, and if you all are enjoying the conversation, again, this is the live Bowie television recording. If you haven't cut your cable, we are on Comcast, channels 190 and 1097 in Prince George's County, Maryland. Make sure you're subscribed to both Bowie TV and Urban Sports Scene, and you're following us and you're doing all the things. And so since the Dallas game, the defenses are bringing more players. They're stacking the box. They're bringing more players down to the line of scrimmage. The offensive line can't get anything. And each week is getting worse. And against Seattle, because Seattle is very, very good. And they were as advertised. And they didn't even need all those defensive. They didn't need all that. They were still beating everybody with just 4 or 5 defensive linemen, like a 4 or 5. They were still beating them. But when you're stacking that box, you're trying to get to the line of scrimmage because that's where your X factor lies, because you feel like there's no threat out here.
On the outside, yeah.
There's no threat out here.
So
I think that challenge is flying very low under the radar. I know I've mentioned this as well about the running back room. Now, I said this on All Burgundy and Gold Everything pregame, so make sure you all are locked in with the pregames and All Burgundy and Gold Everything as well. I'm on there an hour before kickoff.
She sure is. Go for it.
So yes, and yesterday was a day I was just brutally honest.
Yeah.
Right. But everything I said came true. I said, listen, the Washington Commanders could do everything right and still lose this football game. The Seattle Seahawks are that good. For real. Okay. But it's one mistake, one thing that turns this thing down the tubes, and it's going to be a very long night. This could look bad. This could be very bad, is what I said. It could be very bad. And I was like, I know this is like, hey, I don't know if I'm not the person to come to for hope. I just come to the truth. The truth. And sometimes I give hope, but the hope has to be sold separately. Yeah. I made that decision after the Dallas game. Like, okay, all right, I know where I am. Okay. And how I have to view this. And so it's tough. It's a tough road. But going back to the offensive line, going back to the running game, if there was ever a game that your running game probably wasn't going to be as successful, it was against the Seattle Seahawks. And that's probably why you needed to leverage it and do it more against the Bears, the Cowboys, and the Kansas City Chiefs.
But I do have a question about that, because everybody going into that, and I talked about this yesterday. Like, this team, when this team is constructed, it's always been predicated, even with Jayden Daniels, as a running team. Like, that's been like an identity. They are a running team. And when you start where there is a sense of you want to be, and I had Donna on on a preview show, and Donna, her key was, for them to win this game, Washington has to be bullies, right? You have to attempt to be bullies against a team, to, like your point, a team that does stop the run and do all of that. But they came into the game, in terms of the offense, a lot passive. And I mean passive, not even passive and passing the ball. Passive of, they started the game throwing the ball 7 times in the game. And you said this during the offseason and whatever, that this team loves their running back room. And when you go into a situation, we know this in any type of fight in life, where I don't care how tough you are, if you're going against a bully, you don't back down. You don't say, because you're great at what you do, I'm not going to attack you. I'm going to go at you and see what time it is. I'm going to see if it's real. I'm going to feel the fire. I'm going to see if it's real. I'm going to try. Like, I'm not going to go here and say, well, yeah, you're number 1 against the run, so you know what? I'm just going to go past, because I'm scared that you guys are going to stop our front. So and again, it goes to a point where it's supposed to be a strength of your team, because you told it, not you in general. You know what I mean? Like, coaches said this in general. Like, we love our running back room. We feel like that's one of the strongest units we have on this team. You're missing receivers, so why not lean on your strongest unit on your team? Why not try to? And when I say lean on your strongest unit, why aren't you? It doesn't just have to be Bill. It could be Chris Rodriguez. It could be Bill. It could be McNichols. It can be all of them. Why not do that instead of saying, all right, we're going in this game and we're just going to throw the ball. We're going to do read option with Jayden all the time. We're going to do all this. And you said that, like, we've seen it. Like, the complaint is we are missing receivers. Like, all right, well, lean on a strength that you said that this is a strength of yours. You said this is a strength. Why not lean on that?
Right. It's constructed as the running back by committee for a reason. He said that was intentional.
Yeah.
That's what you want to do. That's your most healthy position group.
Yeah. Yes.
That's your most healthy position group. Let's be clear. Debo's dealing with the injury.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, he's still Debo. He's still, tough as nails, even with the injury.
Yeah.
But let's be for real. Like, go make them stop the run.
Yeah.
Now, there's already the challenge from the previous weeks because I didn't feel like they utilized it, and I felt like they really, really, really could have utilized the running back by committee model. But you also have to.
Keep on.
I'm sorry.
Got super chat. Appreciate you, DC Slim. Says question: Does it look like the players respect cliche Dan Kangaroo Cliff and prevent wit? You know more than I. In terms of they respect them, you know more than I. But I appreciate you, DC Slim. I appreciate you.
Players love Dan.
Okay.
Players love Dan Quinn. Players want to come here for two reasons. Dan Quinn and Jayden Daniels, and others too. There's and it's the locker room full of respect.
Of course.
Coaching staff and position group full of respect. And players, coaches that players want to play for. And I've done some deep digging, across the league and context and everything that I know. And the first thing everybody says is, well, Candi, they can't do nothing because 5 not playing. They can't do nothing because this one hurt, that one hurt. They immediately go to injuries. That's besides the scenes. You can't necessarily talk about that out loud. But yes, they're like, but man, everybody hurt, man. Those injuries, they still in 1.5, you know what I mean? 1.5 years of a recalibration. And they exceeded way up expectations from last year, and they just down bad this year. And injuries do have a challenge with that. But Dan Quinn, they absolutely want to play for Dan Quinn. There's a lot of respect for the coaching staff, for certain. Nobody's out here like disrespecting people. It's not that kind of environment, y'all. It's not that kind of environment, everybody.
No, I believe you. I think they do love him. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. This is a good question. This is a good follow-up question. And then Mike, I'm gonna get to your question. It says, if that's the case, why is nobody responding to his message? Meaning, why is the play not matching?
That's the challenge.
Yeah.
I mean, they just were.
Yeah.
They just were in January. They just were. They just made it to the NFC Championship game. Last year, and a lot of the success they had last year was less than a year ago. They were playing until the end of January of 2025. People made decisions to come back because of last year. So I think everybody needs to do some soul searching and some deep digging on why is this not working for me. At the same token, I'm like, this schedule was tougher, and you knew that. So were the pieces that were added, were they for this? Now, some of their pieces have been hurt. They hurt. The pass rush is just gone. It's gone. They're hurt. You've already gone through where it was like, where's the pass rush? On the IR. Dietrich Wise, Javonte Jean-Baptiste, Dorrance Armstrong was having an incredible season, but then he would be used in different ways, wasn't all work out. But when he was used with him doing what he's supposed to be, Then there's certain players you want to see step up, and you haven't. Here's another thing that I think is an important point, because I see a lot of the bringing the younger guys in. Well, hey, listen, from a return perspective, I mean, Jalen Lane on returns, this has been something I keep bringing up. I'm going to keep bringing up certain things because there's a lot. I talked about the offensive line and how defenses are now playing them after what Dallas did. That's something that's flying under the radar. Jalen Lane's muff punts, forced fumbles, drops, that is flying under the radar. But at the same token, if I'm being fair and objective, like I always am, Jalen Lane was not supposed to necessarily be operating in the role that he's in because of the injuries he's had to step up. Because of those injuries, he's had to step up. And, you know.
No, I had like another question. Mike had a question for you about Witt. He says, Candi, how are you feeling now about Witt and this Sunday's game plan? This Sunday night's game plan. I guess, yeah. How'd you feel about it? How'd you feel about his game plan yesterday?
I don't see where. I mean, it was the same thing they always do.
Pretty much.
It's the same, and so it's it wasn't. I mean,
it is the same.
It's the same. And that is why on the pregame show I was super duper clear. You want to stop the Seattle Seahawks? Keep them off the field. For me, it's really that literal. You want to stop them? You're going to have to run the numbers up and keep them off. I said, this is going to have to look like the Detroit game. I don't care how many players was injured. Doesn't matter. You have to do your best because it give your best, okay? Because this ain't the team you want to play with. Let's go back to because rightfully so. A lot of attention should be on the defense. Let's be clear. But one of the things that I've been consistently now saying is, but you knew what you was dealing with from last year. And some of the very impressive additions are on the IR. And then you have certain players who are not being utilized in my opinion, in what they should be. The offense, Jayden got you out of jams. Just straight up, everybody. We'll just be. I think it's time for everybody to be honest about the fact that Jayden Daniels got this team out of a lot of predicaments.
I also think that it's a combination of the style of offense they were doing that last year too, not just Jayden. I feel like they played a ball control style, and they didn't leave that defense out there. Now their defense is getting exposed because now they get to be out there, and that's the main. Yeah, and that's the problem for real. Now that's the problem. That's the real problem.
The time of possession, you putting them out there. What happened? Coin toss, you win. You say you're gonna receive. I say, whoa, really? Yeah. Are you? Yeah. Are you? You are? Oh, you gonna score? Because once you receive, that is your intention. You need to score a touchdown. I get aggression. We talked about that on the pregame show as well. I get aggression. I'm down with it. I'm with it. Okay.
Oh yeah. Trent has a question.
But now you're doing something that you don't even do.
And we talked about this, but Trent has a question. We talked about this though, but I do want to kind of give Trent the respect. He said, they said Witt will step down from the box and the sideline. Candi, your own opinion. Do you feel like that will help?
We're gonna see. Because we're going to see.
All right.
Because if it doesn't, then whoa.
Yeah.
Because you really can't. It is a communications thing. You have seen where things have improved when a coordinator has said, you know, let me go down.
Yeah, it's like
why communications issues at this point, and something that's a build. I don't know. I don't know. But.
Oh, I like this question.
I definitely want to go back to that receive that you win the coin toss, you decide to receive. That means you are about to score on the Seattle Seahawks defense. Now, that's not even now when you talk identity, that's not even a part of this team's identity.
Mm-hmm.
They need to call and tell us they defer.
Defer, yeah, that's true.
So you just did something that while it displays aggression, it doesn't align with your identity.
Mm-hmm.
So I get desperation because we talked about that on the pregame as well. But now there's a difference between aggression and being desperate. And that shows desperate. I don't know who about to score this touchdown. Nobody did.
Mm-hmm.
But let's be clear. If you do that, that means you do not have any respect. Bobby Wagner told everybody in the mic'd up. They know what that means. That means you don't have any respect for their defense. We about to score on you. Is that the message you really wanted to send?
Got it's a couple more super chats. Am I right about this? Oh, that's old. Not old, I think. Is that old? No, it is. It is a super. No, hold on. Am I tripping? No, it's an old super chat. I'm tripping. Go ahead, continue. It's old.
Those are things that are flying under the radar.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you set the signal. We want to receive. Oh, I said, oh, they want to receive. Okay. Woo! All right.
All right.
And it's kind of so you got to be firm when you make that decision. When you make that, you going for the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think everyone understood the magnitude of that decision. Oh, you want to receive? Oh, that means y'all about to score. No, not at all. You're not. And that bothered me. Because I was.
It did.
I want aggression. I would like to see aggression, but reality. I'm not saying it's because that wasn't aligned with their identity.
Gotcha. Oh, okay. Oh, I looked at it like, I think I looked at it like personally. I was like, all right, they know their team. Like they know their team. They know they need to be in a lead. They need to get a lead to help this defense out.
They need to get a lead, but you got to be realistic about whether or not you were going to be able to execute it.
I mean, I feel like so it goes to this question then too. Then if that's the case, it goes to the question of, all right, Cliff, like what's happening? Like I'm gonna ask you this question because I've asked this.
I might have a question. I think I might have asked him something about that last week. Ain't no telling with me these days.
Because I do got a question because I can't go this route. If I do have a question I can ask you about Cliff. It's more like, all right, has Cliff come into this season with the same type of zest that he did last year? What I mean by that is Cliff looking at the end game other than like trying to worry about the now? Because I don't see the same type of the end game, like the end game of, all right, because everybody knows he wants to be a head coach. I mean, he said this in like pressers or whatever. He said this. I think he said it last year. That he still wants to be he wants to be a head coach again. And is he more, last year he turned down some gigs, but I thought those gigs weren't good for him, to be real with you. They weren't ideal. They weren't ideal for success, to be real with you. They weren't. So I was like, all right, I expected him to turn those gigs down. Personally, I expected it. But this season, I feel like he's calling it a different way compared to last year. And it's almost this is me. I'm not there. I feel like it's more like trying to showcase, all right, I can do this and I can do that. I'm this type of coordinator. I'm like this mad scientist rather than hey, you know what? Let's just get the best game plan to win this football game. Or that's why I feel like at times he gets too cute rather than just doing what needs to be done to move the football, to create opportunities to make life easier for whoever is the quarterback for this team, either that's Marcus or Jayden. Mm-hmm. So I don't see the same Cliff I saw last year where I thought he was playing for something, he was coaching for something, especially with some of the stuff that was said about him prior to getting this job. And even when he had that lull, right, and people questioning Cliff, and then he turned up, right, there was a little bit more of that passion. I felt like this to prove people wrong. I'm not sure if it's the same this season. I just want to get your opinion on that.
Well, if he was applying for a head coaching job, it may not be available based on what's happening currently.
There you go.
Now, what I do think, what my opinion and my speculation is that this time on task thing is a very real thing for him. And it's sometimes people aren't able to make something happen they got to have every single piece of their pie. They have to have every single piece. They have to have every single thing. It has to be these people in this thing to be able to make it work. And I asked him about that last week, and he said he's always been like next man up, it's this and that, but it's not translating as next man up, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. It's not.
And
we talked about that, Lamar. Appreciate that.
We talked. Thank you, Lamar. But we definitely talked about that at the top of the show because I got the fresh email from the NFL Communications. So I read the email like, "What's Frankie? Which Frankie? I'm Frankie, the one in Ashburn. Frankie. Oh yeah, yeah. So don't take me back down. Let me try to keep myself together. But They love being there. They all love being there. It's real. It's real. I'm just going to continue to say I don't think they were ready for the smoke they were going to get because they were good last year. And I haven't seen them adjust effectively to their opponent. And really prepare that way. I just haven't seen it. I haven't seen where it made sense on either side of the ball, and it almost feels like I'm gonna try to get. I don't know. Let me pull up. Let me see. We talked to. No. Let me see which one. I might have to put my glasses on. Let me pull up some cliff.
Yeah, go for it.
Let me see.
Going back to the run game, you said for the first 5 weeks, I think you guys are the number one rushing team in the NFL. So when it's going well, what does it look like, and what isn't happening over the last 2 weeks that maybe matches that production?
Yeah, I think, week in, week out, you're playing different defenses. Teams are trying to do different things to take you away. You have different players up or out of the game that impact that as well. So it's just having a great plan week in, week out, and then being able to find answers in game to make adjustments that can take advantage of certain things. So I think not getting behind helps. There's no doubt. And playing with a lead, that is when those rushing attempts really come through. But just being able to execute at a high level early on in the game to stay on schedule and just consistently do it.
That was from last week. I don't necessarily see my questions from last week. I mean, I'm sure they're in there somewhere.
Oh, I'm saying that's something to talk about helping. Like, again, they had the ball first, which I get when you fall behind, but you had the ball first. So you had the opportunity to dictate, dictate the pace and dictate what you wanted to do out there. And they dictated to throw the football first. So I'm just saying, like, I get like what he says, I get it. Like, yeah, like you're behind, but you weren't behind.
You weren't behind when you chose to receive.
And you chose to throw the football. So
that meant you were going to be in control of the atmosphere. Yes. Now, I've talked about the way I've seen, defenses play this offense since the Dallas game. So it's like everybody's just learning from other teams. I'm not seeing that necessarily. They're just learning from other people. We've talked about Jalen Lane on returns. We've talked about the run game and the lack thereof on offense. We talked about you receive, you win the coin toss and choose to receive, and you don't score. You're still not controlling the time of possession. The efficiency is just not there at all. And I think the hard truth is they got a major issue at wide receiver. Your wide receiver's out.
Yeah.
So you got to figure something out here. You got to use this run game. You got to use, your tight ends. You still saw a bit more John Bates in the past game. You see, you got to get Ben Sinnott. It's just something. something.
Yeah, you
now,
gotta,
the point of the creativity. Now, this goes back to mad scientists versus just common sense or logic. You know, sometimes it's being way too creative or too, like, you ain't had to do that on the 4th and 1. What we doing?
Yeah.
You know, and stuff like that. And so I don't know. But
or you can just
sides. Special teams has been the best unit out of all
by far.
In the season.
Far.
And I feel like Coach Izzo has gotten the memo.
I'm the best in the room. I ain't saying that, but yeah. He's good. I think TR needs to be used more.
He needs to be used more.
TJ, I think he needs to be used more.
Yeah. He needs to be used more. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But what becomes difficult in any of these is if you get an opportunity, you drop the football or something happens. This is crazy. You miss a block. You know, it's pretty bad. And then, you know, Detroit Lions, I mean, this could be.
No, I don't even want to think about that team.
Yeah, I just.
I mean, think about this, man. Sam Darnold had completed his first 17 passes.
Absolutely.
And had 4 touchdowns in the first half before halftime.
Yeah, it was sad.
I don't think we need to worry about as a team. We don't need to worry about worrying about Detroit is a whole different thing. We made and no, not Sam Darnold. And I said this before. I said this even a lot of people were showing disrespect to Sam Darnold on our pregame show, and I was like, nah, man. Sam Darnold's having the version of Sam Darnold the last 2 years. He's been a really good quarterback. You know what I mean? He's been he's broken that bust label. It's almost similar to how we look at Baker Mayfield. He's kind of almost he has rebirthed his career right now. You know what I mean? He is now a high level quarterback. He is. I mean, it is what it is. Now, is he like Patrick Mahomes or whatnot? No, I'm not saying he's Patrick Mahomes, but he's really, really good. Like arguably, if you want to say in the NFC, maybe one of the best quarterbacks in the NFC for real. Top 5 right now, the way he's playing. So
yeah.
But at the end of the day, you still made life way too easier for a guy who's playing at a high level. So they're talking about Detroit. That's a whole different beast. Like they got more. You thought
Seattle.
You thought Seattle had weapons. Detroit got weapons. They got weapons. They got 2 running backs, 2 receivers, and a tight end. They got everything you want on the squad.
Everything you want.
Yeah, so
got everything you want. I don't know. Because and then it becomes so I asked the question and I don't know if you want to drop the link in the chat. If folks have questions, we're gonna do the one. It's the one if we haven't answered it yet. Yeah. Have we answered all the start questions? Because
I'm about to get to it. Some of them redundant.
And definitely feel free to pop on, but I'm definitely in a I don't know space. Sam Darnold, I want to, he was getting the ball out so fast. They were moving so quickly.
Yeah.
That line was fantastic. Oh, they were so good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you, being able to be objective in this business is really helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can be like, whoa, what is going on here? But still be thoroughly impressed.
Mm-hmm.
And you're a lot of times for quarterbacks, your success lies in the success of your offensive line. And a lot of reasons why Sam Darnold is having the year that he's having is because of that offensive line. And the night that he had last night was because of that offensive line, because the defensive line wasn't getting anything.
Yeah, I'm telling you, and their offensive coordinator may be getting a job shortly too. The way he's coached that offense up. The question from Trent: do you guys think our DC and do you guys think our DC and will stay for next season? I guess. Wait, I said. I guess he was saying, what do we think of the DC, and do we think he's gonna stay next season? That's my guess.
I don't know. I mean,
I can give my guess, but yeah.
I'm gonna just keep watching.
Just keep watching.
I'm gonna just keep watching. It's week 9. Just keep watching. Let's see if this move down to the field so people can hear each other. People minimize. In my opinion, there are some people that minimize miscommunication.
No, I think it's important. I think communication is important.
It's important. Like context.
Yeah. I just think that
talking about.
Yeah.
It could be detrimental. You ever like it's almost like having an argument or having a whole debate with somebody in the reality you didn't understand what they were talking about in the beginning.
Basically, basically
what they're talking about. You're like, oh, that's what you meant. Oh, so yeah.
No, I think that you're right. I think communication is very important. I think the issue that I have when it's always talked about communication is something that, all right, just like if you're a teacher, if you're a coach, teacher, or whatever, eventually if you keep having that same issue, you can't just say it's the communication issue with like the players. Eventually you're going to say it's something that I'm communicating that's not getting through. That's how you got to look at it. You can't just say it's the players aren't communicating, whatever. If it keeps happening, like, all right, if I'm teaching this kid and this kid is trying, and you can tell he's trying, and for some strange reason it's not coming through, then it's like, all right, I got to find a better way to communicate with this kid. For that kid to do what I need this kid to do to get the answer right or whatever. Like I need to communicate better. It can't be we're not communicating on the back end. We can't keep like if that keeps happening. If that was a thing that happened once or twice, yeah, I'm with it. Like I get it. But when it's redundant, then it's like, all right, I gotta do something better to communicate this properly because they're not getting it, and I'm not. It's either. It can't now just be them. It's got to be I'm not doing something on my end to help them out. That's where I'm at with it.
That's right. And that's the role of a leader.
Yeah.
Right. And I see a question here that says miscommunication or a bad communicator. Well, we don't know because if you're communicating through the headset, you're gonna find out when he's down on that field. And to Wole's point, which was an excellent point, you may have to tailor your communication based on the receiver of the information. You ever played the game of telephone?
Yeah.
That's what it is, because you're communicating. This is a bad game of telephone.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it looks like. That's why I think it's happening. This is a bad game of telephone. You hear that?
Yeah.
What did you say? Or what did you have to really, those things matter so much. And but however, I would have liked to see some more adjusting even on that in season. I think I saw a comment that said he did, him coming down to the field after the Dallas game. I actually would have brought him down to the field after week 4 in Atlanta.
Yeah, early.
I think I told you early on, Wole, week 4 was my tipping point. I said, we're going to see what happened in LA. We're going to see what happens in October. But for me, from the defense perspective, let me be clear, because I didn't really start looking at the offense like, wait, hold on, Cliff, until Dallas. That's that. No, Chicago. Well,
yeah, Chicago. Well, Cliff, yeah, Chicago.
Chicago, but Dallas. It was Dallas week. I was like, okay, right, from both sides of the football. But week 4 in Atlanta, that was the defense for me. I would have brought him down. You coming down to the field, buddy? On that.
So you said you want me to try the questions thing, right? You want me to try the questions thing?
Yes. If people want to.
All right, folks in the chat, I'm gonna put the question in the link. I mean, in the chat. I'm sorry, put the link in the chat. Excuse me, guys. I'll put the link in the chat. If you have a question that we haven't answered already, or Candi hasn't answered already, make sure you just ask. Make sure you can click the link and ask the question. Also, it will be like 1 minute. We're not gonna keep you on just 1 minute. No cussing. Be respectful, and we all good. That's all I care about. Well,
I take the. What do I have to do?
I think Why am I tripping? Probably I can't get anything right.
Oh yeah, I can take that off.
All right, y'all.
Come in. Yes, and
links in the chat.
And I hope that this conversation is helpful. Like I said, I'm not here to sell hope this week. The hope is being sold separately. The hope may be discontinued. But I'm just here to tell the truth. So I hope it's a helpful conversation and insightful. I take my job very seriously, my role very seriously. So this helps to have the conversations. Trust me, I often have said, if I'm this shocked, I have no idea what Dan Quinn is thinking right now. Because I'm like, what is happening? So And again, I also want to be clear. I wasn't thinking that they were going to win all these football games. I want to be clear on that. But the look of it is really bad.
We got the homie Paul.
Okay.
I have a question for Candi.
Hey, how y'all doing? Thank you.
What's going on, my guy? Hey, FYI, I did see my man Marvin. He freaked him. That's what Marvin do. But go ahead, Paul.
I had to think about this question because I'm still mad. But Candi,
yes.
When is a point where we can ask the coach that when is it time to develop the young players and time to let these veterans kind of sit for the rest of the year? Because I use my clues and I'll be reading the snap counts and I see a typical trend that's happening. So my question is, when is it a time for them to go just completely youth development from this point on? Thanks.
I have a follow-up question. Which player are you specifically talking about in terms of who you would want to see more of?
I just want to see Jordan McGee and Owens more and Cano more at linebackers. Just see what we got, because I see who's getting a lot of snaps on the linebackers, and we getting the same results.
Well, they've been out there the last 2 games, so that's one thing that I made sure to say. Like, listen, they're out there now.
Yeah, I know they're. I seen it. Out there
now. So, they're out there now, and the result is still the same. I think if anybody gets out there, because Ale was out there yesterday, but not a lot at all. I think there's opportunity for Kane Madrano, because Kane has not been out there. He is one that has not been out there, but the others have. And if there's communication issues, they gotta figure that out. Because while yes, the younger guys can get that burn, get that play, which they're getting, now they're getting at least the last 2 games. Kane still has not been incorporated into that mix at all defensively, and they got to fix that communication issue, because then you're putting your young guys in a bad spot. If you're putting them in a really bad spot, if you're putting them out there understanding and knowing there's communication issues.
Right. My thinking was sometimes
other.
Yeah. My thinking was the athleticism will sometimes cover up for their lack of communication there. So that's all.
Yeah, it's a bit of this is the last 2 weeks. It's again, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Because
right, I understand.
Tyler had some tough moments last night. So Jordan makes some plays for sure, and then he got taken out. Then he went back in. It was crazy. So, but yeah, it's something to still be watching. But you got to also ask yourself, if there's communications challenges with the current coordinator, do you want the young guys out there?
Good point.
Good point. Well, I appreciate you, Paul. You my guy.
Thank you. Thank you both. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh my God, Paul. Cool as hell.
Yeah.
Real good question.
It was a super question. And I know there's been a lot of conversation about that. And so that's why I'm just trying to bring, another perspective from a larger picture of all of the things that are at play.
Let's see. Folks in the chat, if y'all have any questions, like about a minute, drop the question.
And you're gonna be on camera. See, people
ain't gonna be on camera.
Questions, but y'all want to come on camera? Y'all like
come on camera, ask the question. And then you know what I'm saying, she'll answer it, and then we good.
I'll answer it. Well, maybe I even will ask you another question to make sure I'm clear. But
It's open. It's open.
It is daunting. Being on TV, being on camera, it is daunting. It is a little like,
No, I mean, you got a question. I'm thinking you got a question, and you know what I'm saying. If you really have a legit question, and you just want to, you want an answer to it. You know what I'm saying? Not just to be like seen or whatever, just to have a legit question that brings context to the show, or you know what I'm saying? Go for it. Ain't nothing wrong with it. If you want to hide your camera, go ahead.
You can turn your camera off. Yes,
you turn your camera off. You don't gotta be on camera.
I was just trying to be inclusive, like everybody else on camera. Why you not?
Yeah, you can turn your camera off. You know what I'm saying? You can turn it off. You can be on. You know what I'm saying? And it'll be all good, man. We all have a good time. We all be married, man. We all be married. It's all gravy, man. So I don't think nothing wrong with it. But but I mean, obviously people have like questions about the young guys and wanting the young guys to be out there. I think that's the one thing. If the season goes the way, unfortunately, the season goes the way I think it's kind of going right now. And hopefully it turn. I mean, we all want them to turn it around, so don't get it twisted. But But if it does go right now, I'm just trying to be real, right? Like they're playing horrible football, and if it does continue to go this way, you get an opportunity to see young guys in high leverage situations and see what they can do in those situations. And I think that too can bring some type of excitement to a fan base to see, all right, where what this guy has and what ability this person can bring to the football team.
Yeah. It was a tough night for the safeties last night.
Yeah, it was very tough. I think
it was tough for the safeties in the corners. That was if Sam Darnold didn't tear them up.
Yeah, it was definitely a bad day. I mean, if anybody watching this Cowboys game, at least if y'all want any hindsight, any kind of blessing to it, the Cowboys are down 10-0 to the Arizona Cardinals, and hey, we're still around.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, good night, Mama Waller. Yeah, I don't know. We don't have any questions.
No, we don't have any questions. We can close out. I know we normally like on 2 hours and all that, but I'm like,
it's
hey,
still
man,
good though. We did good. It's hour 30.
Hour 30 on time, but I think it's just.
If y'all don't got no questions, nobody stop me. Y'all got no questions to be on camera. You sure?
I do want to say this because I think it needs to be addressed because we've always in the past we've often talked poorly about the organization and how it treats fans. Yeah. With the Chicago Monday night game and then last night, the organization has done an amazing job with how they're engaging the fans and just the light show and all of the things, art monk ceremony, because we were there.
I want to talk about that.
How was very nice. It was so nice. And I thought it was it just had to happen on Art Monk night. And I think I made a joke like, please don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this on Art Monk night. But it was going to happen. And so it was a beautiful night. That aesthetically, fans, you're there. Just God bless you for real. You showed up amazing. And so it just, that was tough there that happened. I thought it was super dope that the posse were honorary captains.
It's awesome.
That was really, really cool. And it was just cool that the posse was there for our month. So bright things there. And so
Trey Amos.
Trey was hurt.
He said he didn't look. Yeah.
His hip injury. He went
hip injury.
And then he came back in, and it's interesting because Percy had a hip injury as well. I mean, Trey got juked a little bit out there. Like,
man, no, man. They weren't discriminating. Seattle was not discriminating. Listen, they were not discriminating.
Everybody, they all look bad.
I'm be real. Seattle did not discriminate. Everybody,
they were like, everybody can get this work. Watch this.
There you go.
Y'all want to receive, or y'all want to receive? You sure about this? Okay, all right.
Yeah, it was they did. They was definitely not discriminating at all. Like that's what that was saying.
Everybody have it.
They were like, you want this, you got it. Hey, Trey, you've been having a really good year. Don't worry, we got you.
Great year, but guess
a great year.
He got it.
Question for super chat. They're going to end the show.
I don't know. I'm going to tell you, trade deadline. It'll all be over.
Who gets traded tomorrow?
I don't know.
I think
I don't know. I don't know. I've kind of stayed away from that.
Trade talk. Because
Kenny
had
unless you're trying to get more draft picks. You absolutely need those.
Yeah, that's the only thing. That's what I'm thinking.
Draft picks, but like actually trying to like salvage the season at this point. I mean, like, okay, but why?
There you go. No, you're right, Candi. Candi, you're right. You're right. You're right, Candi. You're right.
You know, it's what do you have that someone else wants? Okay, you're Deron Payne. You know,
that's for picks though. It'd have to be for picks though.
At this point, there's too many injuries here. That wouldn't even be fair.
Yeah,
it wouldn't even be fair to bring somebody of status here. But
nah, Trey Amos ain't going nowhere. But everybody but probably Trey Amos. And y'all know I love Mikey, but Mike had to pick. I think Mikey had a pick. Yeah.
I'm happy for Mikey. And Mikey
Yeah.
said a couple picks now. I think 3 on the season.
Mikey got 3 picks. He got 3 picks this
Three
year.
picks on the season, but his numbers have not been good.
No, Mikey's got interceptions. He hasn't been great in coverage.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Mikey's but his number exactly.
Agreed. Mikey, his numbers just haven't been great. I agree with that. You're not gonna hear me as a Mikey supporter. His numbers, his interceptions numbers are good, but in terms of like coverage, he's not been the same Mikey. But I will say this though, and it sucks that I feel bad for Marshawn Lattimore. I do feel bad for him for his injury, but I do think that for Mikey will probably be playing better now.
I think going back to I think Marshawn was the victim of more explosive plays, but from a numbers perspective, he had better numbers.
No, he's better numbers than Mikey. I'm not saying that. But
I think I was just saying it out loud. I think because of the explosive plays we're targeted there, and like the PIs, of course.
Yeah.
But like I
think Mikey now on the outside is going to be a better player. Like we're not going to be Mikey on the inside. Like he will be more comfortable. That's what I'm like. He will be a better impactful player on the outside compared to what he was on the inside. That's like I felt like we're going to see the Mikey we saw last year. Put it that way.
And let's be clear, the whole team got smoked. Like this was not one player mess up.
Yeah,
player mess up, position group mess up.
Mm-hmm.
Seattle beat them down.
Yeah.
They lost position group matchups, individual matchup. They just lost. And I saw a question earlier about coaching.
Coaching what? There's a lot of questions about coaching.
About getting out coached or something. Did we read that one? I felt like I saw that somewhere. Maybe it was a while ago. But I'm gonna say this. I want to say this, and this has also been a recurring theme after the Green Bay game.
This is
very clear. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Sure.
I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. Seriously, I try to take my work in my journalism. I take it seriously. Well, Lane knows that about me.
Yeah.
Yes, the movie Casino. It was real bad.
It's on Paul.
That is hilarious. God, that was funny. And it made me lose my train of thought. Green Bay, Thursday Night Football, week 2. A recurring theme that night after the game with players was that they felt like they knew what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
And that was definitely an out-schemed night. But again, if Green Bay did it, if it's on film and somebody else did it, what makes you think? Somebody else isn't going to do it. And every week you're losing players. So along with losing of players due to injury, it's taken away from your creativity and your ability to adjust, because now it's like you legit don't know what to do. It's taking your swag with it. So
no. Definitely. I felt we've seen a difference, man. Like it is what it is. Like whatever happened, I don't know if it was kind of like obviously living off of what they did last year or whatnot. Something's not the same. So
anywhere, anytime, all that. And
all that time, like you said, your mantra. Yeah.
I appreciate Coach acknowledging. I know it's inconsistent, so it doesn't look like. Yeah, but that's the problem. If I've confirmed that you all are speaking in these mantras still doing these things, but it don't look.
It ain't matching. That's what it. I guess like that's, and I think that's what some of the people, some of the fans who are like now critical, in this, especially in this chat, they're more like, all right, they're dope mantras, and there's something we all kind of can go with from last year, but this year it ain't matching up. It ain't matching up. So I mean,
right.
And you've been in this area and being, and covering this team for a while. I hate. Oh yeah, DC Slim. Thanks for super chats, DC Slim. He said, "Can you tell the cliche Dan to stop playing in our faces and fire Kangaroo Cliff for prevent wit if he wants us to take him serious?"
Yeah, I know I'm not gonna do that. I cannot believe Frank. I'm sorry. I'm still reacting.
I'll say let me say for DC.
They didn't be getting that hip drop tackle has happened to Jayden. I know it's.
I know that. That's everybody's talking about it. They get mad at that. Yeah. 3 times. Like 3 times. They said 3 times.
I mean,
That's what Shelly said. Shelly said it earlier. She said it happened about three times to Jayden. Or the 3 times he got hurt, I think, was like hip tackles.
That's gonna be an interesting research project for myself.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested. Well, I think Wednesday's gonna be an interesting one when y'all have that. It's Wednesday. Y'all speak to Dan, or is it Thursday?
Wednesday and Fridays.
Today,
Wednesdays and Fridays.
All right. So yeah, I think that's gonna be an interesting question about like how Dan feels about Louisville getting hurt and knowing that's happened to Jayden a few times.
I don't know.
Because it has happened to Jayden.
Absolutely. Because at this point, I don't know what the hip drop tackle is. Because I'm like, well, wait, that's the same move dude put on Jayden.
Alyssa has a question. Says DQ voice getting stale? That's a question.
After a year? Like, I mean, that's my thing. It's like it's not like it's old.
Yeah, I'm that like he's like I mean, because obviously when you start, the thing is like when you're getting, I'm not gonna say he's getting stale, so that's not my opinion. But it's like when you're getting blown out. I get why fans and fans of the team would say that, because when you start to get these type of beatings, then that's the first thing you think, like, oh man, that's not going through to the players, right? When, for instance, and not to say it's a different culture, it's a different culture. Like when Jack Del Rio started getting like 50, 40, whatever, folks are like, oh, he lost the team or whatever. So like he lost the defensive side, you know what I mean? Like now we're seeing that kind of constantly with the defense, like they're getting dominated. So I'm not gonna say Dan, but it has the coaching, has somebody within the coach, some of the coordinators or coaches, have they lost like the defense? Because that's where when you get 31-7, I mean, it's not 6-7. When it's 31-7 that early, like, and it could have been worse. Like that's like I don't know. I get that question. I understand the question. I'm not saying I understand that question.
That is an abrupt change.
Yeah.
From a staff and people. I don't know. You would have to tell us who said that.
What, Candy? When is it at time? Who said what? What are you talking about?
Beat reporters tweeted, this is the kind of stuff. I mean, I'll tell you, I mean, I tweeted, I mean, I guess there's a tangible outcome or a change, right? Because this is rock bottom.
Your buddy. I mean, not your buddy.
This is rock bottom. Well, hey, you already know I'm not. I'm trying my best.
I know you are.
Hey,
I'm about to end the stream, though. I'm about to end the stream. I'm looking for legit. Hey, I need to look at legit questions. Hold on. How can we get better? How can we get? He said, "Oh my bad, Paul. How can we get better? You good, Paul? How can we get better with being less injury prone? Having 13 starters and second string players injured on both sides of the ball is crazy. So sad. This is happening to us. Yeah, it is, man.
It is sad. It is sad. I mean, you know, Alex Flume. Shout out to Alex Flume from DC News Now when he walked into the press box yesterday. This has been we've been holding up. I've been holding up really good. I told you earlier.
You did a great job, man.
I don't know.
You did a great job.
I'm down bad a little bit, but I'm gonna get myself together. And so I appreciate you all staying on for sure.
Oh man, damn, that's how we do it.
Merle.
Bill Belichick waiting for the call. We doing that, Merle.
I have some thoughts. I do have some thoughts on what you all are saying, but I also understand the process. I understand the injuries.
Yeah.
I understand the process. Let's go through the process and see what happens.
Yeah, okay.
You know me, I'm gonna keep digging like Coach Quinn, but my dig might be a little different.
That's they listening to y'all. Paul always says that they listening. That's what Paul always says. They all ain't listening. What we got here? No, I ain't gonna. Folks who don't like show it. I know. I feel y'all, man.
Coach Quinn was everybody's friend last week. I mean, not last week, but listen, it's just give it a minute. I really just.
I don't think it's. Honestly, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't think people dislike Quinn for real. I think it's more they want. It's by association. Put it that way. it's more about association. I think if say certain folks were whatever they want the change that they want, they wouldn't complain about Coach Quinn. To be real with you, I really don't think it's a Coach Quinn problem.
I mean, and
a
you
lot of
just
people.
you saw glimpses. You saw it in LA. The Chargers game seems so far away.
Oh, it's very far away now.
And if you would have told me when I got off the plane from LA that in a month
it looked like this,
team and the defense, all that would look like this, I'd be like, I would have just been like, please, you're a hater. Like, just stop.
Yeah, now I'm with you.
Stop.
Now I'm with you.
Who is
the secondary coach?
I'm sorry, I know who the pass game coordinator is. It's Jaxon Smith, but I'm just like, I don't know. Y'all are asking me questions.
They in it. They in it right
now. Now I'm just like, y'all been doing good on these questions. Y'all are I'm starting to give way a little bit.
Who is like, because that used to be Joe Witt's job.
His name's Tom. Yeah, his name's Tom. Donatel.
All right.
Donatel.
Okay.
But
y'all go.
Jaxon Smith is the passing game coordinator.
On the defense? On the defense?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Jaxon Simmons, yes.
That's a defensive position for coaches? Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Pass game coordinator, I think. Yes.
Okay.
He works with the secondary. He works with everybody.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes. At this point, I'm like, I don't know.
Off of last year.
I don't know.
Off of last year, or missed the mark and ignored ongoing issues. Yeah, it seems like it.
What that say? Which one?
Trent says off of last year or missed the mark and ignored ongoing issues.
Absolutely. I think that's 1,000%. We said that earlier. We said that earlier.
Yeah.
A lot of the issues that they had were met. Remember, I said that about the Hail Mary game.
You did say that. You said it like that was a bad, yeah.
That game was the gift and the curse because there was so much wrong in that game. But because of the Hail Mary, it was forgotten about. Right?
I agree.
Falcons game last year. That's another one. I had it on my list. I said, these are games that because of how they won, it was just, it was everybody's happy.
Yeah.
It was deficiencies. You saw it. I don't think some of the deficiencies that we saw in the Steelers game got addressed last year, right? We definitely saw things.
Yeah.
And so,
Merrill said too many coaches.
Yeah, that's why I kind of had to laugh. It was like, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, it's not. It worked out. Like, last year was a good thing. We loved the coaches. I love the coaches. Actually, I love the amount of professional coaches they have in the building. I ain't gonna lie.
They do, and that's why if you listen to the press conferences, another thing, and we can wrap here soon.
Yeah.
I've asked consistently about the collaborative decision making because remember last year it was like a thing, and you would actually hear Joe Witt talk about it a lot, where they would like go across the hall to one another. If they see something on film, if they saw this, saw that, you would even hear Joe Witt say, "I threw this play out. It doesn't work. I threw it out." All that, he did. He said he threw something out, something that worked. You didn't see it again, and he would address that. He would say, "It's on me. It's this. It's that."
Then you got a question. This I like this statement right here, though. I ain't gonna lie. This question from the real Benjamin says 19th ranked defense 2024, which you like, and the 32nd ranked defense in 2025.
The change is too drastic. The change is too drastic, too fast. It's too drastic in a very short period of time.
Yeah. Not Joe Del Rio. Not Joe Del Rio Witt Jr. That's messed up. That's messed up. All right. Okay. All right. So we should wrap the show up though. I think we're pretty much done. I think we've kind of look, y'all. Candi came in and gave us some intel. Like what intel? She gave us some insight about what these players had to deal with yesterday. And we should all be appreciative of it. Because I appreciate it. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Thank you.
Because I was mad. I ain't gonna lie, I was personally mad because they disrespected my dude Art Monk. And everybody knows I love Art Monk. I love Art Monk a lot. I think, have I met Art Monk before? I think I met him once. I met Art Monk once. So, and I was so geeked and boosted when I met Art Monk. You know what I'm saying? So I think Art Monk is one of the best. And growing up, he's one of my favorite receivers of all time. And for that to have, I hate that when we do that, when we have a special night and our players, like I can lose a game like last minute or something like that. But when you get dragged in a game that's a game that's for Art Monk like that, nah, I don't really like that. That bothers me. Like that really bothers me. So I was disappointed in that. I do want to ask that question. Like, did you get that vibe from the fan base? Like they were like, not that they lost, but like they disrespected the great Art Monk on that particular night.
A lot of fans were leaving before that game.
Got you. Oh, okay. Say it pretty much. Okay. Candi and Doc Walker, the realist. All that stuff, DC Slim. You a beast, bro.
Thank you.
I like him about DC Slim, and he a real one. I do like him. We don't agree because he's like real, like he a militant. Like he like fire everybody. I'd be like, all right, damn, bro, you the man. But I like that he a supporter, bro. He a real one though. Yeah, when he's on it, like we had him on like a call-in thing too. What I will say, I'm giving you flowers, man. Like he has points though. They're not ignorant points.
You know, you got to be able.
He got points, man. He got good points. I will say that.
You got to be able to hear everything. Yeah. But I made it. Our travel to Dallas, as long as they're safe, you know, it's fine.
Yeah.
But our travel to Dallas was horrific, but we all got there safely. But I told myself, I said, you know, because it's a balance. It's a hard balance. Know people personally. I mean, Wole, if I wouldn't want nobody talking bad about you out here.
Yeah,
I'm ready to jump in the chat and go, you know, so it's the same energy that I had. You can't be talking, but I have a job to do. And I told myself the Dallas game, I said, now if this looked like I think it might, we gotta do this. We gotta do our jobs. I gotta do my job. Because I had too many questions and it doesn't make sense.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm watching this Dallas game. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. And this is what makes me mad. Like Arizona is doing whatever they want on this defense. Everybody, look. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. We made Dallas defense look really good, and everybody has made Dallas look like the defense I knew they was gonna look like. That's all I want to say. That's all I want to say. That's all.
But that see, and that would became exactly so. Like in that exact example, I'm like, well, why don't you do what everybody else is doing to the defense? Now they stacked the box. They did, and then the offensive line wasn't ready for that.
Everybody gonna stack the box. Everybody gonna do it though. Stack the box now. Stack the box.
Every since that Dallas game, everybody's been doing it.
Yeah, everybody's gonna stack the box now. Like that's let that be known. We don't need to.
It's happening, and this question right here it's happening on the offense and the defense.
Yeah, so it's
happening on both.
Yeah,
it's not, and I get why it's on Coach Witt. But now you got an offense that cannot score.
That's the problem too. Yeah,
it's something that problem here.
That's the unit that you depended on can't even help you out right now. That's where I got an issue with too. Like
everybody knows the whole offensive line was repurposed, retooled, all the things, and they're.
All right, so the last comment from Paul, and then
that's what I was reading.
You read this? Oh, okay, got you. Okay,
I'm like, but everybody doing it.
Yeah,
on both sides. Now they got you everywhere.
Yeah, true. So yeah,
now they got you everywhere. So I'm glad you all stuck it out with us. I know this is difficult, and guess what? I wholeheartedly, I knew after the Dallas game, I said, hey, if the fan base want to unravel, they just please do, because it just is what it is, and it's difficult. This is unexpectedly bad. This is, and we even, we all may not agree even from a media perspective on certain things, but I guess what we do agree on is that we didn't expect this. Not like this. No way. Now, there's definitely some of us who predicted like an 8-9 or 10 game, right? I think mine was around 10. I think I did 10 games. This is not, and then injuries, we're just like, just everybody get out healthy, and that's not. So so we get silent and we get quiet because we don't know what's happening.
Yeah, we don't know what's happening. Because I don't know what's happening. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah.
Something is happening though. But I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate it. This has been dope, Candi, as always.
Yes. I appreciate all the compliments on the questions. I do take my craft very, very seriously. And I can't just be like, well, what was that? I can't ask that.
Paul said, Johnny, your question was the best. That's what Paul said.
Well, thank you. Thank you. It took me an hour to get the question out. It's like, no, it took me a minute. But I was really trying to make sure I was clear. Because Coach Quinn been mad all season.
Yeah, he has been mad though.
He's been mad the entire season, and entire season, and there's been no change. If something is up, something is up.
All right, y'all. Hey, wait, make sure again, folks, please hit that like button. Hit that like button right now. Subscribe, Bowie TV, Urban Sports Scene, YouTube channels. Whatever you are right now, hit that subscribe button. Like this video. Appreciate the super chats. Appreciate the love. You guys are dope.
Yep, you guys really, really are. Thank y'all. And we won't even deal with next week. We'll deal with next week when we have to next week.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right. Have a good night.
Bye.